Live from the Loft 100 studios in 110 million broadcast homes strong, nationwide coast to coast on television, 150 radio stations in 175 countries. Thank you to BizTV, BizTalk Radio Network, iHeartRadio, U2 America, and Armed Forces Radio Network. That's right, TV, radio at the same time. Big Biz Show's on the air. Good to have you along today. Well, great to have you.
What you rocking there?
Gin. Welcome to the program.
Gin.
It's vegan.
Oh, hey, you're right.
Gin. It's not gin. It's Tito's. In any case, I don't find myself drinking during the day
That's
as much anymore.
a great. I was about to compliment him, and what?
No, actually, I was talking to them the other day. I don't find myself drinking at all anymore. But if I'm gonna, it's gonna be during the weekend day, because then you're napping by 6 and it's over.
That's fair enough.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
Versus, let's get started at 9 a.m.
Good Lord. No.
Different deal.
Yikes.
No, I think as you get older, you put more value on a good night's sleep.
Oh my!
I spent a lot of decades not putting any value on a good night's sleep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is
right.
paramount to sleep well.
Yeah.
And booze just don't let you do it.
That's exactly right. There's a T-shirt, Dinty.
Yep.
As in look at the shirt he has on today. That's causing a moire pattern where people are car sick watching the show today. Wow.
A lot of seizures in the audience today.
It's almost like you're a walking strobe light. Is that a Carter's?
Carhartt.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Yellowstone. He fancies himself to be Kevin Costner. A swollen Kevin Costner, yet.
Kevin Costner's horse.
Kevin Costner on prednisone for 6 years. The only reason I say that is because I got really sick one time, took prednisone, and my head went, boink. Looked like my neck blew a bubble. It was, all right.
You have pictures?
We start the show.
Damn it.
I don't need them. They look just like that. Is that a turtleneck sweater you're wearing or your lower lip, Mike? Listen, we got an email, a number of emails, as a matter of fact, on this company called Cocrystal Pharma. Jim Martin is our guest. If I'm not mistaken, we have spoken to him before. Their stock symbol COCP, cocrystalpharma.com. They have developed a proprietary drug based on Nobel-winning technology. I'm going to let him talk all about it, but it's always interesting to talk about curing the maladies of this country, because me and Mike are two of them. I present to you Jim Martin. Jim, great to have you, sir. How are you?
Hi, great. Thank you, Sully and Mike. Appreciate you having me back on the show and your audience interest in Cocrystal.
Yeah, let's talk about it, because we keep on getting emails about you. We said, I got to get this Jim Martin guy back on, because people are talking you up again. Talk about overall, top-down, what you guys do.
So we're an antiviral company, and we started with a drug discovery platform, which essentially takes the virus and puts it into a salt crystal, hence Cocrystal. And from there, we run x-rays through it, and we come out with a near atomic roadmap of what this virus looks like. And that's where we start our, selecting a binding pocket for our compounds. And we do this in a manner that overlays the different families of the compound, of the virus, to make sure our compound attaches to a broad spectrum area that covers all of the families of the virus. And essentially, we shut down the replication system of these viruses. And if they can't replicate, they just die out.
Hey, when we're talking about your sort of point of spectrum, what we're talking about is things like influenza. Is it that simple, or is it something that's way more higher on the food chain?
No, it's all of those. Those are all viruses, from influenza to hepatitis C to COVID-19 to norovirus. Everyone's familiar with AIDS, and that's a virus. And there's a lot of viruses out there that continue to be a scourge.
Is this are we talking about a one-size-fit-all therapy here, or are we targeted therapies here, or a little bit of both?
Well, that's what we're doing. That's what I mean by broad spectrum. We're targeting a therapeutic and also prophylactic, where you can give it to your family. If you catch influenza, you give it also to your family, and then they're able to, avoid getting the disease. So we make sure it's broad spectrum so that no matter what family of the virus it is, that we target it.
Well, let's talk about the FDA. We have to, because there was a phase 1 study. And talk about the findings here, because now you continue upon that road with the FDA to get you closer and closer to the goal line.
Yeah, great. So a couple of years ago, we set up a subsidiary in Australia because they have some really favorable tax reasons that actually reimburse you on a lot of the expense that you put over there. And because of that, they built up an incredible teams over there of people that specialize in these clinical trials and a lot of companies have gone over there. So they really run a really tight ship over there. So we went to them and signed up, got a clinical trial started over a year ago, and we finally got back to find the results on that. And we show, outstanding results in the sense of having the safety and the tolerability of this drug. And now we're going into a phase 2 for efficacy on it in a human challenge model over in the UK.
I'll tell you, if you look at that chart there, you're marching down the field at a pretty rapid pace here. Anything that you're looking most forward here to in the near future? Because it looks like you're getting closer and closer. And I guess it would lead to the question, is the model teaming up with Big Pharma? I know there's some collaboration potentially with Merck, but is that the idea of getting this thing to the goal line?
Yeah, we just met with Merck in January, and everyone continues to stay real close to the programs. These are still early stage. I mean, we just got the phase 1 done, and now we're going to phase 2. And with phase 1 data, you also catch the interest of government, entities like BARDA and whatnot. So, but the other ones are still preclinical. Our COVID-19, which is going into a phase 1 here shortly this year. And you really want to get that phase 1 data done and getting it into phase 2. The more you progress these assets, the more value are attributed to them. So we want to really make sure we get these in the best shape as possible to get the most value for our shareholders. Jim,
we want to see you back on the air because the more we talk about this stuff, the more people are going to understand that we are closer than further away from getting therapies that actually are going to get us through what we just went through in 2020 and so on and so forth. His name's Jim Martin. He's the CEO, co-CEO, I should say, and Chief Financial Officer for a company called Cocrystal Pharma. COCP is their stock symbol, COCP. Go to cocrystalpharma.com. We'll put that up on our website. You can check it out. You can expect to see him back on this program. If he'll have us again, Michael.
He'll come on.
All right. That does it for us. For myself, Mike Swanson Costa, and the makers of Fritos Bean Dip, one of the 4 food groups, along with Dinty Moore Stew, Kraft Singles, and Little Chocolate Donuts. Big Biz Show. Till tomorrow.